2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday the 14th of February, and it's Valentine's Day. And a big happy birthday to Simon Pegg, Rob Thomas, Christian Eriksen and Becky Hill. It was a weekend of stark warnings over the potential for an imminent Russian attack on Ukraine, starting with Junior Defence Minister James Heappey.
British nationals should leave Ukraine immediately by any means possible, and they should not expect that, as they saw in the summer with Afghanistan, that there would be any possibility of a military evacuation. They should leave now.
With both Boris and Foreign Secretary Liz Truss expected to head to Europe again this week, Northern Ireland Secretary Brandon Lewis says the government is working hard with international allies to try and avoid a full-on attack from Russia.
We are actually taking a lot of action. Not only have we had, as I say, the Foreign Secretary and the Defence Secretary in Russia just this week, obviously the Prime Minister has been leading the way, working with our allies around the world to have a cohesive, united approach against the Russian aggression that we're seeing.
Labour's Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper says there can be no doubt that the UK and its allies are all very clear on what the consequences for Russia would be, but that there should be no question of UK troops being sent to Ukraine.
There should be no doubt for Russia about this, about the strength of the, not just the UK response, the international united response that there needs to be, on the economic pressure, the financial pressure that there needs to be on Russia in response to any kind of incursion or invasion.
The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was trying to keep things calm on the ground, even as countries recalled their diplomatic staff and warned citizens to leave Ukraine.
Now, the best friend for enemies, that is panic in our country. And all this information that helps only for panic doesn't help us.
US President Joe Biden had spent time on the phone to both President Zelensky and President Putin across the weekend without any sign of a breakthrough. Ukraine is now calling for a formal meeting with Russia to discuss the troop build-up. The US also coordinated a call between key allies to ensure that the pressure remains constant on Russia, even as the military exercises continue. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken was staying on message.
If Moscow chooses the path of aggression and further invades Ukraine, the response from the United States and our allies will be swift, it will be united, it will be severe.
The Tory Party's parties scandal hasn't gone away, even if Ukraine has pushed it off the front pages. Boris received a Met Police questionnaire over the weekend and will be asked to give credible reasons as to why he appears to have broken lockdown rules. Northern Ireland Secretary Brandon Lewis was staying loyal.
He has my absolute 100% plus loyalty. Look, I think this is a Prime Minister who's doing the right things for our country. He's got the big decisions right. I think he'll fight and he will win as a result of that the next general election.
Even as the Met Police investigation into Downing Street is ongoing, there's due to be a job ad popping up in most papers as the Met Police look to replace the former Commissioner Cressida Dick. Sir Michael Barber, the chair of the Strategic Review of Policing, says whoever fills the role will need a strong skill set to be able to deal with a long list of issues.
What's important is that the powers that be appoint somebody on merit who can take on this confidence issue. I think the day-to-day politics needs to be left out of the account. We need somebody who has authority, who can communicate well, who can inspire police officers, who can reward those who do the right thing and tackle the clear challenges.
The ongoing battle for the streets of Ottawa kicked up a notch over the weekend as police moved in to clear the Canadian truckers whose protests have gridlocked Canada's capital city and blocked major routes into the US. Local citizens fed up with the blockade also turned out to protest, and Canadian PM Justin Trudeau made it clear that he's had enough.
This unlawful activity has to end, and it will end. Of course, I can't say too much more now as to exactly when or how this ends, because unfortunately we are concerned about violence. So we're taking every precaution to keep people safe. But the absolute safest way for this to end is for everyone to return to your communities now.
Still to come at the Smart 7 is the Super Bowl, baby, plus Adele gets zinged by Graham Norton. Right after this. Welcome back.
The 56th annual Super Bowl took place on Sunday night in California as the Los Angeles Rams took on the Cincinnati Bengals for the Lombardi Trophy. While the Rams have a star-studded team, the Bengals had brand-new star quarterback Joe Burrow, but in the end that wasn't quite enough to overwhelm the California star power. The Rams won 23-20 to take only the second Super Bowl in their history, and quarterback Matthew Stafford was delighted.
I'm so proud of this team. There's so many guys on our team that deserve this. That game today is the story of our season. You know, it's up and down, it's tough, and we're a freaking tough team. Showed up late and got it done. I'm excited.
There was a truly spectacular halftime show produced by and starring Dr. Dre, with Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent and Eminem. It even featured Eminem taking a knee in the middle of the show as a mark of respect to Colin Kaepernick. Channing Tatum's back after a break, and he's busy promoting his new movie Dog, which he co-directed and starred in, and it hits cinemas this week. It tells the story of a US Army Ranger on a road trip with a military dog on the way to her handler's funeral. But it is a comedy, actually. Channing also got sidetracked on the PR tour and wound up talking about the upcoming Magic Mike 3.
I really didn't want to do a third movie unless we could truly break out of like the traditional stuff of like those movies and really do like the Super Bowl of stripper movies, and where the dancing is like next level, like where I hope male entertainment or just like stripping in general like just goes. It doesn't have to be lame. It really doesn't. It can be cool.
Adele had a big week last week, winning 3 awards at the Brits, then partying at Heaven nightclub and even trying a bit of pole dancing. So maybe it was no surprise that she walked right into a zinger from Graham Norton on his Friday night chat show. Graham was in the middle of reassuring George Ezra, who couldn't remember the dates of his gigs.
Also, no artist ever knows when anything's happening. Don't worry about it.
I'll be there. For sure.
I always know when something's happening.
You don't know when Vegas is happening.
Well, That was very quick.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.